Hello everyone and welcome to Endless Legends. Today we are gonna play this game as let's play Dust Fanatics, which are a custom faction of the Broken Lords. So first I'll show you what traits I gave them. It's usually important to go with a custom faction because the normal faction don't have the points up to 80. For instance, I'm just gonna test it out. Let's say I open the normal Broken Lords, and I add them. See, there's only 55, so I could have 25 more points, which could be, I don't know, more dust. Because you want dust as them. But anyway, let's go back to Dust Fanatics. Since I want this to be sort of a fast game, we are gonna switch to 4 people. A tiny map, and then go into advanced setting, put the land percentages very low so that there's not too much. Alright, put the region size at the maximum. You can't go higher than normal because of the number of players / land percentage. And then like usual I put a few lakes, a few cliffs, and then make as much strategic resource and luxury resource as I can, so that it's not boring. Because at the start you usually want a good place, and if you don't find a good place you will have a very slow beginning. And so we're looking for 1 or 2, if possible, anomaly, just to get you started. Alright, we're gonna keep the bots at random. Game speed at fast, because the other speeds are fun, but since I want this to be a fast game again. And then difficulty on normal, just because it's to show you guys. There you go. Now that I think about it, I did not explain my custom faction, but if you pause the video you can probably see the names of the traits I picked. But essentially it's mostly all related to dust, and basically making my armies very weak so that my dust income is better, and just so that we don't fall behind other armies if they just decide to go super armies and just wreck us because ours are weak. We will probably have to make them trades and then use our dust to make sure that they're in truce with us, or buy out mercenaries, or just buy out normal armies but instantly finish them with dust so that they are surprised. Alright. Neat trick that I found out: if you want to have multiple people looking for a place to go, what you want to do, you want to click on one of your dudes so that he's the only one selected, and then if you right click somewhere, even anywhere, you will go as only him. I believe you can also use one of those buttons there, but I don't always trust them, because last time I disbanded my dudes and someone bought them on the mercenaries. It was fun. Alright, so we're gonna try to go for these things. There are temper wounds. If you right click them, you have a chance to get something, like we just got 40 dust. That's pretty good. We're gonna explore map. So there's an anomaly here. Probably not worth it. There is one right here though. If you see that sign, the... oh, where is it? There it is. The semicircle with a dot. That means it's an anomaly. And when you place a zone, you go all around it plus the place that you clicked, of course. So for instance there I would get a lot of dust, decent amount of industry, decent amount of science, a little thumbs up because why not. And I would not get food because I'm the Broken Lords and they do not use that. Instead they use dust to make workers, which I'll show you as soon as I make my city. Gonna move our second stalwart. Does anybody know how you say their name? Stalwarts? I never really looked into that before. Oh, a weapon. Alright. So that's for heroes only. Looks pretty good though. I might use that. Plus there's a glass seal here, so that's pretty confirmed. As you can see, since it's a small map, we already have neighbors. Let's see. We know that orange is the Draken. Red is something else. Clearly. Now, this kind of map, cultists would probably have a massive advantage because they only get one town. And usually the other cities try to have multiple towns to counter them eventually. However, that won't happen. I think this zone up here is neutral, so we're going to try to get that really fast. There's another anomaly here. Could that be better? Oh. Okay, if you click the number 2 on the bottom right corner of your screen, you will show up all of the dust, industry, science, and food if you had them, which is very useful to choose. Alright, there's also this place over here, but I'm not sure if I can reach it. And in my personal opinion, if you wait for the second turn, you wasted a lot of time. I know it's not really the case, but alright. So we could go here, which would be 6, 9, 23, 7, 19, 15. That's pretty good, but I'm not sure if I want to go very much all out science. This might be a good medium. It's only one bonus industry if I go there, and I would lose a lot of dust. Alright, we're gonna try here. Worst case scenario, we will use our burrows that I'll show you in a moment. Alright. Click here. Okay, so once I have 2 dudes, which I will do right now, okay, the way you do it is you click this button here, and you get a new worker. And then, depending on the difficulty, it'll cost less. Not the difficulty, the speed, that is. So since we're in fast, it's only 26, and I can even buy 1 more. And let's say I was really lucky with this rune right there. Did I even go with it? Yeah, I did, okay. I could have maybe bought a 4th one. That would have been an insane advantage. Anyway, so now I can buy a burrow if I wanted to. Except we're not gonna quite yet. And when you do a burrow, you get the zone that you clicked on again, plus the 3 new zones that are available that you'll see. Let's see. Let's have to do that. So you see that they're kind of highlighted. You would also get those. So if I wanted to get this zone again, I could, which would give me a lot of science and a lot of dust. And we would also get this zone right here, which would be great. But we will do that later. Alright. So in every game, you always start by doing the Founders Memorial unless you have Mill Foundry already, which I usually tend to do first. And then right away do the Founders Memorial so that you don't waste missing on that influence and science and a little bit of dust. Why not? So we're going to do that. However, this game I don't have Mill Foundry, which I always say weird, by the way. It sounds like MILF Foundry. You might hear that in the future if I play with friends. Alright, the science, I'm going to pick Mill Foundry like I just said. Normally you would go with the food, but since with the Broken Lords, food is essentially dust, so we're going to go dust right away. Before I click anything else, a trick that you can do is click on your city, and up here, it says the name of your city that you can change, by the way. Let's change that to Seph is a god. Someone will get that reference, I swear it. Alright, and you can also see the minerals that you got and the amount of villages that are there. So there would be one, but it's probably hidden here, 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 maybe even there. You can see the resources like I mentioned. We currently have 2 titanium and 1 glass steel, but we're not sure if we have luxury resources. So, what we're going to do is we're going to click here to make the alchemist furnace, because we know that we have titanium and glass steel. But we're not going to click this one yet, the open pit mine, until I know if there's something good in it. Now remember that if you play the Broken Lords in the main quest, very early, one of your quests is to first get 8 science in the first era. But right after you need 12, which is unusual because you usually want to go 9 by 9 since the later eras are technically better than the last ones. Sorry. However, we're probably gonna go with the quest because it gives nice bonuses unless we finish the game really early. That could be surprising. Plus we will need more army plays because I believe the first quest is to get 3 infantry units and we can only have 2 in our armies right now. So we'll need this one that increases by 2. Anyway, so since we're not going to do open pit mine now, I'd probably say do science next, because it'll influence the remaining 5, which is good. Sewer system is pretty good. Gives you thumbs up, like I like to call them, which is essentially happiness. And the further you get in that, which is right here, so right now we're happy, the better bonuses you get if you go over the modifiers here. So as you can see, plus 9.2 dust from happy. We currently don't have any bonuses for influence. Plus 1.5 from happy in science, and 0.9 from happy in industry, which is decent. However, you can get more than happy. I don't remember how the other one's called. I think it's like exalted or something. But if you do, you'll get even better bonuses. And I believe you need 85 or more. So if you get the sewers, like I mentioned, we would have 86, which is enough. Oh, then interesting. I'll have to check that out later. Alright, so that's 5. We need 4 more. Let's do Lantua Square. Allows you to talk to the minor villages. Not always useful because you can also just destroy them, but you have to rebuild them after, which is slightly annoying. It also allows you to bribe, and since we're the Broken Lords, we're going to have a lot of money, and bribing is going to be real easy. However, before bribing, you always want to talk, because sometimes the quest doesn't only give you pacification, which is essentially bonus worker and bonus vision. They can also give you, for instance, a new science, or maybe a weapon, or just simply resources, luxury, and strategic. So, and if you're not satisfied with the quest, for instance, if the quest says, oh, go in this zone and kill the villages because they stole our bros, well, we'll just have to bribe them instead of killing them because our armies are not up to that, unless you're far in the game, of course. Alright. I'm assuming that after 7 rounds I will have this covered, if we have dyes or not, and if we don't, we'll just click that off and see what we can do. If you had, at the beginning, Imperial Coinage, which you can in the trades, you could go right here, click the Marketplace, and go to the Luxury Resource department, sort of, and let's say it would say, I don't know, spices and dye. You would know that it's the only resources available on that map at all times. And there's usually like none of them at the beginning, but they get filled up eventually. Alright, so that's 7. Probably going to go with more science on 8. We're not touching the armies science again, because we don't care about armies quite yet. And if we do eventually, we'll probably not be in glass steel stuff. Probably in titanium and palladium, if we're lucky. Alright, so that's 8. Now, my hardest choice is between Aquapulvistics or Mercenary Market. However, are we near a river? We have a river right there, actually, which is decent. How much would that mean? That would mean 4 dust in summer season, which is pretty good. Is it better than Mercenary Market, though? I'm not sure. I think what we're going to do is go for the Aquapulvistics, and when we go back to get to 12, we're going to, of course, take the Mercenary Market. Probably Military Science to have a better base in case we get attacked. Gives you a militia and more fortification, and even XP in the garrison, which is always great. Because if you make units, you can keep them in garrison until you need them, and they'll get more XP than when they're out in the field. And we will get a search party, even though they'll be very late. Could be useful if we go in, is it 4th era? Yes, 4th era. If you take Endless Mechanism, all the runes that you search can be unlocked again. So, the plus minus 10% to not find anything will be useful again. Even if not that much, but it's mainly to get a quest, and usually old eras don't take much time. Alright, this is a really long turn one, but worst part is we're not even done yet. And that's totally fine. Alright. So next thing that we're going to do is put our governor in the city. Now you could use it to go to villagers, for instance, and attack them right away. But again, we have weak armies, so we're not going to try that. And little buddy here, if you double click on him or go in the little medal here to manage your heroes, you can inspect them. And the capacities here show you what he has. What's important is when he is a governor, that's efficiency 2. We get plus 1% per hero's level, which is 1 for now, so it's plus 1% gold. I mean dust. And plus 2 dust per workers on city. So for instance, right now I have 3 dudes, so I would get plus 6. You'll see it by this right here. Production normally would be 5 because we have the trait that gives us plus 1. Normally it's actually 4. So we have 4 plus 1 from the entrepreneur, actually it writes it, which is the trait, and then 2 from the hero capacity, so it's 7. And we get 87 dust per turn. Minus something, I'm not exactly sure what. Oh, military upkeep, of course, because we still have 2 dudes out in the field. So, as much as that's a lot of dust, we actually still want to make our stuff in the Founders Memorial actually grow, and eventually mill foundry, like I like to say it. So, I'm going to move a few guys. You just left click on them, and drag them. So we just lost 2 turns to wait with only 1 worker, which is really good. Another worker makes it 2. However, moving a 3rd one doesn't make it 1. So, what we're going to do is we're going to move him back to here, so that we get the bonus dust, and our governor is not, well, wasted. Oh, I forgot I moved him already. Alright. Did he move all the way? He moved all the way. Alright, is there anything else? I suppose I could do the bow now, just in case I mess up and forget to build anything, which can happen. Alright, getting 1 influence. I think that's pretty much it. We don't need to look at our units yet. If we do also that part. Here you can see the diplomacy. Later it might be useful. Signs we showed. Quests, we will have one next turn. This is for our cities. And here, if you forgot which, well, custom faction you took, I suppose, you can also check here and you'll see all the bonuses that you have. So for instance, I have plus 1 on every turn with dust, because I have dust efficient capacity or traits. And I also have, if you are near anomaly, I get more dust, more thumbs up, and more science, which is what we did. We got 2, so that would be 4, 6, and 6 again. And we would not have had that much, even if the anomalies are really great. Alright, here you can also simulate your empire plan, but we're going to see that in turn 10, because this is a fast game. So let's just enter in here.